So the US jobs report data was off or is off by 800,000 plus jobs between April 2023 and somewhere around April 2024, which is an official report by the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I don't know if you guys remember, but 4 months ago, I released a video promoting the free jobs report where at that time I was running into a discongruency in the market because I was applying. I'm still applying for jobs, and I noticed that at that time that despite what I was reading in headlines that things were good in the economy, the job market was strong. I was seeing a drastic slowdown in hiring opportunities between when I was last in the market, which was around 2021, 2022. I was actually in the market for each of those years, if I remember correctly. And it seemed that in that time, it was just so much easier to land an opportunity or at the very least be getting interviews. And this time around, when I had re entered into the market and started applying for jobs, it was everything but. It seemed like I was getting much less attention than I would used to. And just to give you guys some context, I have what I would like to say a senior level skill of software engineering, and I was not getting the kind of attention that I had been in previous years, and I thought this is really strange. Something is up here. So then I started to do some research, and as time went on, I ended up finding out that the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is regularly promoting or is regularly adding, I should say, these revisions to their jobs data. So what that means is that they'll release a number at one point that'll get reported across. I mean, effectively all popular media sites, and then they'll come back X amount of time later, kind of what's happening with this revision data, and cut the numbers so that they are closer to reflecting what reality looks like insofar as whatever context the data is reporting on. So then I started to grow a big distrust for the data because I'm like, okay, well then I can't really rely on this data to tell me anything about the market because I know that down the line they're just going to edit the data and tell you, oh no, this is actually a closer to truth number or whatever. What I didn't expect is that the job report data would show a difference of almost a million jobs, right? And now really what I think is that it kind of verifies what we already knew, which was that especially if you've been applying on a day-to-day basis, which is that things are not going that great, in particular in this economy. And for job seekers, the opportunities are just not as plentiful as they have been in previous years. And I think we kind of already know this to some degree, especially in tech, with the amount of layoffs, especially that we've seen since 2023. It's really difficult to see that and not believe that there's something drastically wrong in the industry, let alone the greater economy, right? And I'm not even particular about liking to report on this kind of stuff, on this kind of information. It just I have to some degree, because that's what's happening, and I like to keep you guys informed. And I think we knew that in the tech industry, but now it's just getting validated at a more broad scale. And definitely, I think now the mainstream is going to become more consciously aware that, oh look, turns out that what I am seeing with my own eyes, it is what's happening in reality. Like, this is not a good economy. Um, and I think this issue gets more exasperated for job seekers because it's not just that there is a lack of opportunity currently right now, but it's also that the opportunities that are out there are laced with ghost jobs, right? So I have here that 81% of recruiters are declaring that they know that there are ghost jobs being posted across the network, right? Different job board sites or whatever. And that's crazy because that means that even the opportunities that are out there, there's a percentage of them that are illusion, right? So you could be spending, and I've made a video on all this stuff. I mean, I think I've made. I mean, you guys can look at the history of this channel. I've been making videos on this stuff regularly, and you could be spending X amount of time on a particular application as an applicant, getting your resume right, getting your cover letter right, and the job post is fake, right? Like nobody's gonna look at your stuff. And I have the video where I talk about why the incentives are for doing this stuff from an employer's perspective. But this is I was talking to my students last night, and I think this is a historical time. This is a historical market, especially for us millennials or Zers, where we weren't adults in 2008, which is I think the last time something like this hit. So we don't really have a context to compare. I would definitely say this is the most difficult time for being an employee in any industry. Just so happens that I think tech has experienced probably um, some of the most brutal consequences of this particular economy. But that being said, as I was talking to my students last night, I don't think that we should become discouraged based on this information because there's a big tendency to listen to this information and become very doomer, very black pilled about the situation. And I don't think that that serves you. Now, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm the guy that knows everything and blah, blah, blah. Like, I know what's best for you. It's like, I'm going to trust that you're an adult and you can decide what's best for you. I would say that if would have the privilege of even recommending anything at all, it would be to not get discouraged. You know, like stay strong, keep your head up high, and keep applying. Keep applying. Keep getting your resume better. Keep adding projects to your portfolio. Keep getting your portfolio better. Keep getting your LinkedIn better. Keep networking. Keep connecting because the grade of difficulty for breaking into the industry is now a little bit harder, or getting your next job is a little bit harder, doesn't mean that it's impossible. Just in this time frame, I've seen myself get interviews. I have a one student who's got a student with no experience at all, insofar as working experience or in no traditional technical background, no college degree, no boot camp. I've seen him get interviews too, right? So it's completely and totally possible. It's just now there's a responsibility for the applicant, I believe, to adjust to the grade of difficulty, and according to that difficulty, adapt the strategies that are being applied to get hired. Right. That's kind of how I look at it. And it's never been easy in this industry to get a job. Well, you could argue that there was times where it's easier and there's times that it was harder, but it doesn't mean that that's an excuse to give up. Effectively, you know, that's not an excuse to give up, because when I realize that when I'm working at something and I'm hacking at it every single day, I see opportunities pop up. And when I'm not, and I take my foot off the gas pedal, then I stop seeing opportunities arise, right? So I know that you're probably going to get bombarded with negativity, if you haven't already, about the situation of the economy, about all these the lack of jobs and all this stuff, and all that is really good. All that's going to do, if you don't take it for the positive, and the positive would be to adapt your strategy, all that is going to do, in my opinion, when you don't take it for the positive and take it for the negative, is just to black pill you and get you to not want to try anymore. And some of you guys have been putting in crazy amounts of work to get this opportunity to go, dedicating nights, days, efforts, blood, sweat, and tears just to get to this point, to get your first job or to get your next job. And I just have to say, don't give up on that, because you've already invested so much time. There's still opportunity. There's still a chance to get in. You just have to be willing to not quit, even in a difficult market like this. And I wanted to add this because I don't think I don't get any benefit from like coming here, telling you guys a bunch of negative news and then just like peacing out, you know? Like, what am I even doing as a channel if that's like the type of conversation that I'm having, you know? It just doesn't make any sense to me to do that. But either way, if you guys want to support the channel, or even before that, like if you guys want to get some more free value, or if you guys want to get free value, make sure to go to the description box below. I'm gonna add a link to the free job report that I sent out. If you guys would have caught the job report from 4 months ago, you would have you would have been ahead of the curve. It's hard for me to confirm some of this stuff because I'm seeing like different pieces of information here and there. But usually I've seen now I'm typically a few months ahead of the curve, based on like the information that I see. So if you want to get the advantage of continuing to stay ahead of the curve, or if you feel like you're behind the curve, get the free job report. I'm going to add the link in the description box below. And ideally that can help you guys adapt your strategies and get you the job that you want. It's completely for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Other than that, it's a link will be in the description. Other than that, guys, if you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe to it. We're almost at 1,000. Let's keep building up this community so that we can give each other insights as to how to put ourselves in better positions in our careers and get ourselves paid better, right? And it's not just me, it's you and the people around you, your fellow members on the network, connecting, growing together, that we're really going to be able to make this channel valuable for all of us. So yeah, that's all I had to say, guys. I really appreciate you guys rocking with me, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.